How are you always so fired up?
I think I've always had a lot of energy. Like my parents said to me how when I was a kid that I was a pain in the butt because I was like I tell my parents how my dog is as a puppy, and I'm like, he's crazy, he's running around on the couch, not listening, and they're like, I wonder what that was like, and I was like, what, was I like that? And they're like, yeah. So I've always had a lot of energy, and then also luckily I've constructed my life to be able to do things that I enjoy. So I thoroughly enjoy, like, I enjoy talking. I enjoy filming. Like I love filming. So it kind of gives me that energy. I'm definitely an extrovert. So when I'm out in public and filming and stuff, like I have a harder time filming alone than filming in public and around people or with strangers. It just like feels weird. But I'd say, it stems from passion, like I said in the past, about other people that are like successful in things. So I think it really is just, I love what I do. I want to keep doing it, and I have a drive to keep going. So like when you guys asked me to do a podcast, I'm like, hell yeah, like come over, let's do it.
That's interesting. I thought you were going to say like caffeine or something, or because I'm so fit, I probably have so much more like energy that I can dispose of. What I find interesting is you craft your world around you of things that you want to be doing all the time. So it's like easy to stay fired up. I mean, few things you don't want to do.
Yeah, because I've lived a life in the past when I played lacrosse in college. And I lived that life of doing things that I didn't want to do. And, I've always been the happy, smiley guy. Like that's something I feel like that'll always be a part of me. But that passion energy, it's like a different energy. There's like regular energy and then there's like passion, excitement energy. I didn't really have that when I was playing sports in the later years of playing sports. In the beginning, I definitely did. But by 18, 19, 20, I was
Why do you think that was?
So I've noticed this about myself, that since I was a kid, I would get really good at whatever said thing was. So it used to be skateboarding as a kid, and I would get really good. And everyone's like, dude, this kid, like maybe he'll be pro one day. I'm like 8. I get to a point of, okay, I'm 80% there to being like unreal and like really, really good. But to get that 20% more cost me 50% more energy or something than what I'm currently doing. And it's kind of always been like a ratio of, do I really want to put in that 50% more to get that 20% in getting better at something? So I had the same thing happen with lacrosse. I was committed from the age of 15 to play Division I lacrosse on like a $260,000 scholarship to Lehigh University. Like 15 years old, I'm verbally committed to a university.
Can they back out of that if they wanted to?
They could, but it was kind of like, I'd have to mess up and get in trouble basically, but it'd be pretty like messed up, or if their coaching staff changed.
Sure.
But I took lacrosse to the level where I was top 120 in the country, and I was number 37 at my position. So like out of all the attackmen, I was ranked 37 in my grade. And so I got to like the 99th percentile, like even less, 99.9 percentile of the sport. It's there's only 100 of us up here. And for me to take it to the next level, I would have to basically, put in that 50 more percent, or sacrifice 50% of my well-being, life, whatever, my social life, whatever it might be, just to get that small gain. And I was like, I don't really want to have to do that extra 50% effort for that little gain anymore. And then it leads me into the next journey, which is like YouTube.
Yeah.
So one of my not fears, but like I'm very aware that I will probably approach one day that 99 percentile of YouTube. And then it's going to have to be a choice of, do I put that big chunk of effort in to get even into the next realm, or am I going to go find the next thing? And I'm always leveling up, like, skateboarding just is for fun at that point. Lacrosse gets me into college. I start doing YouTube. Now I have, a beautiful home gym, a house, like all these amazing things. I have a team of employees. It's like it's a real job, and I'm doing very well at it. So it's like, when will that sort of feel almost, when will I hit that 99 percentile with this? And good thing YouTube's hard, so that way that 99 percentile is quite high. I'm not really there yet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm at 80 right now, but there's such a, like, I mean, you could compare me to Mr. Beast and say you're at 50, but in reality, I'm at like the 80th percentile of a big YouTuber. So getting that 99 I'm willing to put that work in right now. But then when I get there, you know, am I willing to go that little bit more?
So you could see yourself quitting YouTube.
I don't think it's hard to say. I would never say I don't look at lacrosse and say, oh, I quit lacrosse. Like technically, yeah, I had to quit the team and drop out of college to pursue YouTube. But I always look at things as like milestones. And then once that mission is complete, at least like to my liking, it's then what's the next mission I'm going to go on. So I'm sure there'll be a day that, and I feel like almost everyone has this day where they're like, I'm no longer going to either put in the same effort that I did once before, or I don't want to do it anymore. I don't know what term I'd use at that point. I feel like, you know what I'd call it? Graduating. One day I'll graduate YouTube. If you look at someone like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, yes, they still post on YouTube, but do you consider them YouTubers? Not really. They're like mainstream entertainers. So my goal would be I'll never stop posting. I'm sure I'll always post at least a little bit. Like in 5 years, you know, I'll still drop a video here and there. Something would really have to change my brain for me to literally quit. But I think it'll be more of a, you know, Jesse has a series on Netflix doing these things that, you know, like maybe it's a series show or something, not like a scripted show where I'm acting. I mean, you never know, but like, you know, I do a lot of crazy things with really cool cultures and people. And I think it'd be really cool to do like a Netflix show of that.
Sounds kind of like Graham, actually, because he was doing the
I've scaled back so much over the last year and a half, 2 years, to the point where I kind of felt like I did everything I wanted to do. I said everything I wanted to say. The podcast, though, gives me the same feeling as I did on my main channel.
See, we don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade, technically speaking. Main channel is the podcast.
It's probably technically a downgrade, but in terms of enjoyment, I enjoy this 10 times more.
I mean, that's the thing, though. You have to enjoy. I think here's what my answer will be. The day I stop doing what I'm doing to this capacity is, one, someone killed me. Two, I'm not excited anymore about it. And I found something that excites me more. What that is, I have literally no idea. But I still, I would say I have a good few more years of just continuously like going.
The hard part with a lot of channels seems like their audience grows up, and it's really hard to grow up with the audience.
Yeah.
That seems to be the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely try to keep in mind as I grow, like as my interests change as I'm 24, about to be 25. You know, when I was 2021, I was 21 years old. You know, I was making videos. Everything was about girls. Hot girl this, girls like this, does size matter? And I'm like, dude, I fucking cringe at that. Like, I'm like,
are they still up?
Oh yeah, all of them.
Wow.
I mean, they were like there's still some of my top viewed videos,
really?
You know, like asking girls on the beach XYZ. I had a lot of fun filming them because it's just like, you just run around the beach and dick around. It's hilarious. But, you know, I'm in a healthy relationship. I'm getting married this year. It's like, you can't do those things anymore. At a certain point, it's like, got to stop.
Sure.
And, you know, that was good to gather whatever, let's say 16, 17-year-olds were all clicking and watching that. So 4 years ago, now they're like 19, 20. So my content has matured as I don't do that anymore. So naturally with me maturing, I feel like I can bring my audience to grow with me. So in 3 years, you know, I'm going to more than likely have at least a kid, maybe two. I have literally no idea. But, you know, my content, I think that's why you have to allow your content to shapeshift over time and not be too locked into one thing, where you can kind of take your audience. Like, I used to vlog. I don't vlog anymore. Maybe that'll come back when I'm a dad. You know what I mean? Like, not that I have no intention of being like a dad vlogger, but there might be more stuff about my life literally than viral videos. And yeah, maybe that'll get half the amount of views. You know, my fans will still be there. They'll still be supporting me, which is what really matters at the end of the day. But I'm sure that the scope of my channel will look very different in 5 years than it does now, because 4 years ago, I was a complete different creator.
Yeah.